member that hasn't logged in yet. Oh, she just logged in. Hang on.
No.
That's Jamie, sorry.
Yeah.
Bad eyesight. But we do have quorum if you wanted to start.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's call this meeting to order at 1:01 p.m. on Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. I'll turn it over now to Laurence to take roll, please.
Thank you, Chair. Chair Kalipi,
Present, and I am alone.
Vice Chair is excused. Vice Chair Miyashiro is excused. Director Bruce.
I'm here and I'm alone.
Director Surmas.
Here and alone.
Director Lin. I don't think he's logged on yet. Director Hirokawa.
Present, and I'm by myself.
Thank you. Director Sao.
Present conference room.
Director Hilton.
Present here alone.
Director Wilshire is excused. Director Kaina.
I'm here and alone.
Director Molinaro.
Here and by myself.
Thank you. That's it for the board members. Starting in the room,
Riley Sato, Executive Director.
Laurence Bombardier, Deputy Director.
Neil Sims, Ocean Hero.
Bustine Edge, NELHA Administrative Assistant.
Pam Madden, Water Quality Laboratory Manager for NELHA.
Keith Olson, Operations and Chief Science Officer, NELHA.
We also have several guests online. I guess they could just type in and say their names if they could.
Brian Babbitt, NELHA staff. Here alone.
Alex Leonard, NELHA staff alone.
Sarah Carner, Hatch Blue Marketing Manager.
John Cole here for Deputy Attorney General for NELHA.
Jennifer
Jamie
Rasmus.
Masukawa, Ship Improvement Systems.
I think we have another staff member, NELHA staff member, Jennifer Rasmussen. Not sure if her sound is working. And I also see a few initials, SRM, JWT, NP. Did you folks care to share your names?
I was Nick Polishek from Mackay Ocean Engineering.
Recently married at the salt farm, by the way.
Oh, really?
I'm having trouble with my net, so apologies.
That was Donald Grant.
Yeah, I think that was Donald Grant.
Ian Sanderson, SRM.
I do not see that.
This is right here, SRM. This one, SRM.
Oh, yeah, SRM and JWT are two other guests online, Chair. And I think that covers everybody.
Thank
And
you.
this-
Thank you, everyone. Are we waiting for them to identify themselves? Sorry.
Are we-
Well, they either cannot or are choosing not to.
Okay. All right. Thank you. The first order of business will be to approve the NELHA Board of Directors minutes from the January 21st, 2025 executive session. May I please have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Faustine, did you get that?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any discussion on the executive session minutes? Okay, hearing none. Is there anyone opposed to the passing of the motion? Okay, hearing no objection, the January 21st, 2025 executive session minutes are hereby approved. The second order of business is the NELHA Board of Directors minutes from March 18, 2025. May I please have a motion to approve those minutes?
Chair, Director Lynn has joined us.
Thank you. Aloha, Director Lynn. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, sorry I was a little late.
No problem. We're on the second order of business. So this is to approve the minutes from our March 18, 2025 meeting. Could we please have a motion to approve the minutes?
Jackie Kaina, so move.
Thank you, Director Kaina. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion about the minutes? Okay, hearing none. Is anyone opposed to the passing of the motion? All right, hearing no opposition, the March 18, 2025 Board of Directors minutes are hereby approved. The next item on the agenda is public testimony. We'll be limiting public testimony to 3 minutes per person. Is there anyone in the conference room who would like to provide public testimony? Riley or Laurence, can you let me know? Because I can't see if anyone is raising their hand.
No, sorry, nobody on our end.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone online who would like to provide public testimony? Okay, not seeing anyone. I'm trying to switch through screens. I don't see any hands raised. Okay. Hearing none, then we will now move to the first item on the agenda under old business. The first order of business is the update regarding the NELHA seawater system.
If you wanted to be visible, you could come.
I can control from here.
Okay.
If it's any ring.
All good.
That.
Chair, while we wait, we have an additional guest that entered into the conference room.
Jeff Zimper, National Park Service.
Thank you.
Well, Madam Chair,
Thank you for joining.
Board of Directors, members, we're gonna go very quickly through a presentation I made back in August, but I'm calling it revised. And it's gonna go through what we discussed back in August and what has occurred since then. In addition to that, I will also show where we have done some flushes throughout the pipeline systems just recently. So just to refresh you, we have an extensive pipeline system here at NELHA, and we have 4 pump stations. Research Campus pump station, the 55-inch pump station, and then we have 2 boosters, which boost the water all the way up to the top of the hill, which we call the booster pump station for deep sea water and the interim pump station for surface seawater. We do monitor almost everything on our system through our SCADA. And I think we have probably about 1,500 tags on there. So we're not only monitoring our pump system, we're monitoring flows at tenants' properties. And we have a good handle on what's going on a day-to-day basis. This also includes multiple alarm systems that will telephone and email and text information to the operations staff so that they can deal with problems in a immediate basis. I want to just outline that we have a huge, a huge thing that we have to do, which is deliver water to live animals. And the requirement on that is that we can only be down for 2 hours. Otherwise, we are endangering animals at the facility. And I just want to highlight our uptime here. This is what's been calculated over the last year. In general, we're 99.94% uptime. You can see each of the systems there on all the bullet points. The reason why we're down 48, 42, 43% is just scheduled maintenance. Then we had some testing for our microgrid project that we had to pull the system down about 20% of the time last year in order to get that system up and running. And pump failures constitute about 34% and emergency repairs around 3% of our downtime. We've done an extensive risk and assessment back in 2022, which the operations team tried to figure out where are major risks throughout the whole system. And I just want to highlight that we did put as number one frequent A, meaning that it's a catastrophic failure and it's something really important to us back in 2022, which is pipeline biofouling. So we've been thinking about this and working on this for a while. So I just want to highlight that it's really hard to procure things here at NELHA. We have some cut points, and I just want to remind everybody that these cut points have not changed at all since I've been here. So I've been here for 17, 18 years. So anything that's below $2,500, I pretty much can go out and buy as long as I can get 3 quotes. Anything above $2,500, I have to make sure the company is HCE compliant. This becomes problematic because I have sophisticated and highly specific equipment. Most of the vendors are not here in Hawaii. So I have to find either secondary distributors to distribute here. I can't go out and just buy things. And then anything over $5,000 has to go on an electronic system where it takes about 2 months to go through the procurement system. We basically run this facility using Grainger, Lowe's, and Fastenal because they're vendor list suppliers, but they can't buy pumps for us. They can't buy specialized equipment. And we also have challenges inventorying stuff. So we don't have a really good climate control storage system. We live in a rusty environment or salt water environment. So just keep that in mind in regards to storage of parts. So we talked about all of this. The electrical grid is in kind of bad shape over the farm compound. We did have lots of conversations with Helco and electrical engineers, but we're deferring this project to a later date. And I'll talk to you why soon. We talked about a lot of the rusty issues. I just want to make note that we repaired almost all of them since my last conversation with you guys. And we've had some pipeline distribution issues. And just recently, we blew out a 24-inch pipe due to water hammer. And at Mackay Ocean Engineering, due to water hammer, a filter housing got blew out. So there's a lot of problems that we have to deal with. But these are trying to manage these issues with our clients not shutting valves off quickly. So those have all been taken care of. Pumps, if you just walked in, we just received 3 200 horsepower pumps. So they're the casings of them. So we have new pumps on our way. The ones that we have in the field have been replaced with pumps that we had already here. And we've been rebuilding our 77 horsepower pumps. And we're planning to get new replacements for those 77 horsepower, the workhorse of our pumping station down here at the research campus. They'll probably be replaced in December. These pumps have been in service probably for 25, 30 years. So this is the plan that I showed you back in August. And there's some revisions. First, the pump system, it's a little bit more costly than we thought it would be to upgrade all of it. So I'm anticipating it to be about $1.5 million to do all that. Most of the procurement is already done. Some of the issues that we're having is sometimes we don't get bidders for something, so we have to cross that off the list or try again. So this is where we're at in regards to the pump upgrades for the distribution system. Here again, it's more costly as we're waiting for more bids to come in. I'm anticipating $500,000 there, and this is the reason why we're probably not going to address the electrical system, because we pretty much burnt up the $1.9 million of reimbursable general obligation funds. These will lapse at the end of next month. So we only had a very short window to do all the procurement. The funds were released on 4/15/2024. I had difficulties getting clearance in order to do the more expensive procurement with our e-procurement system, and I finally got clearance on that about 2 months ago. So we've been racing along trying to get all this done, but we've done a lot of thinking, and this is where we're at. So we talked about the electrical system. It's all going to be delayed. We'll try to sort this out maybe next year or the following year. Okay, let's move on to the flushes. I just want to highlight that we had 3 flushes. There's a lot of data here, but the important point is that we kind of targeted some locations within the facility. So the first flush was a bigger flush, and we were able to achieve almost 10 feet per second, and that's a critical linear velocity. That's a linear velocity where you have turbulent flow. Usually pipes start to rip apart at that flow, and this is what we were trying to target within our piping system in certain locations in order to kick up and remove any debris, dust, junk, sponges, biofouling, whatever might be in the pipe. And we achieved that the first flush, which was on Monday, December 9th, but mostly in what we call the 55 region all the way to Ilokai Street. The focus over by the research campus, we didn't quite achieve the linear velocities that we wanted. We were about maybe 2 to 3 feet per second. Then we followed it up with a second flush. And this was on Tuesday, February 25th. And we were trying to focus in 2 areas, the 55-inch pump station area down to Ilokai Street, and then localized by the research campus, because we had a client here called Captura. Their demand at that time was around 3,000 gallons per minute, and they were moving up to about 6,000 gallons per minute. So we wanted to flush the system before they started to grab that water on a continuous basis. Since that period of time, we've had a lot of water go through the Captura system. We've cleaned out all of our sump area at the research campus. For those that have noted this in the past, there is a sandy bottom there. Well, we have no more sand on the bottom there. There's absolutely no biofouling inside there. It's very clean, and that's due to the high demand that Captura and Mackay Ocean Engineering has been putting on our system over the last few months. And then we had our last flush, which happened around April 25th, just a few weeks ago. This flush, we were trying to really focus in the research campus area. We were able to achieve up to maybe 4 feet per second in our 28-inch pipe going towards Ilokai Street. We did notice a lot of debris that we flushed out of the system. We spent a bit of time trying to get as much as we can get out of that pipe, but we still need to work on this segment of the pipeline in the future. And that pretty much wraps up my presentation. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask them. Otherwise, I will go sit in the corner.
Thank you very much. Board members, are there any questions for Keith?
Just a comment from me, Nathan, in the conference room. Keith, you've been really great to work with on this project, and thank you from all of us down here. We've seen some really good results, so I really thank you for your attention and work and cooperation with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Sal. Anyone else? Okay, The next item on the agenda is an update regarding the seawater analysis report by Dr. Jim Wyban.
Why is it? Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, sorry that I can't bring up your,
No.
is that, okay.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pam Ben. I'm the Water Quality Laboratory Manager here at NELHA. I've been asked to give a brief presentation about what the Water Quality Lab is doing to help assist the water quality issues here at NELHA pertaining to that larval mortality. So the first thing I want to mention, can you go back one slide? Yeah, thank you. So one of the things on Dr. Wyban's report, one of the tasks that he wanted NELHA to do was to continue to communicate with the Keaholey Point Larval Group, nicknamed the KPLG group, on issues relating to the water quality and efforts to remedy the problem. So in order to communicate with them better, we've been having meetings pretty regularly. Since September 6th, we've had 8 meetings. These meetings are joint between NELHA staff and the KPLG folks. We've also had additional meetings for flushing events. As Keith just mentioned, those 3 flushing events, we've kind of had the planning and preparing to make sure everyone knew what was going on in the game plan. There's also been a meeting from the KPLG folks where they got together to discuss what their larval status is. So I've been able to sit in on that. So we've had a decent number of meetings since last September. Typically, these meeting topics range anything from the high volume flushing plans that Keith spoke about, that research campus vault clean out. There's also been CTSA funding projects. CTSA is offering to provide some money for water quality research, contaminant identification, and potentially technological solutions. So we have ongoing collaboration with them. In addition, Dr. Mika Brodsky, our state veterinarian, has been collaborating with the Hawaii Department of Ag Lab in their pesticide branch. They have equipment that is typically only used for criminal investigations, but they have been able, Mika's talking with those folks to allow us to send them samples to test for unknown compounds. So think about biotoxins. So this is a work in progress. It's something we're looking into. Additionally, I've been updating the KPLG folks on our external laboratory testing. So I'll talk about that in a moment. And lastly, these meetings have been able to keep us in contact with our clients, as well as the clients can provide their tasks and updates, what they've done on their facility on their end, according to Dr. Wyban's report. So we do feel like we've been communicating with KPLG folks on a pretty regular basis, getting updates. So we've been doing that. Next slide, please. So from the water quality point of view, one of the things we've been doing is an expanded chemical testing initiative. Think about this as a full scan of water quality parameters to get a better characterization of our delivered seawater. So that's both our surface and deep seawater. This project had a one-time sampling event at the 4 sump stations. So we had 2 from the surface seawater sump stations and 2 from the deep seawater. The parameters that were looked at in this project included total dissolved gases, trace elements or metals, pesticides and herbicides, as well as total petroleum hydrocarbons. So from Dr. Wyban's report, we included the total dissolved gases because sometimes our pipes reportedly have supersaturation. So too much gas inside the pipe. We actually wanted to see what the makeup was of that gas. The trace elements and metals came from, even though the pipes are HDPE, our pump systems do have some metal components and we are worried about corrosion. So we tested the full metal scan. Pesticides and herbicides came about because of the property on our southern border being the Kohaniki Golf Course. There were concerns that potentially some of the golf course runoff was contaminating our water. Likewise, to our northern boundary, we have the Kona Airport, and there were concerns that potentially some runoff from the airport operations were getting in our pipeline. So these samples were sent to a lab on the mainland called Eurofins. The report is in, it is available on our website under that library tab. Anyone, it is open to the public to view it. The cost for all of this testing was $2,700. The report did not find any smoking gun of contamination. So that's kind of why we left it open to a one-time sampling event. We were going to see if the report found anything suspect. We could go back and kind of reevaluate how often or what frequency we wanted to do it. But with not finding any smoking guns, everything was pretty either really, really low levels or non-detect. So we'll kind of reevaluate going in the future if we run this one again. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, another project that we've been doing in the lab is toxicity testing. So this project was designed to determine if and where the seawater was becoming toxic, because we actually didn't have an idea if it's the source water, meaning the ocean water had something wrong with it, or if the water was somehow picking something up within our pipeline system, or actually if it was just geared towards water at the client facility. So we wanted to see where it was becoming toxic, if it was. So for this project, we collected samples offshore directly above those surface seawater intakes. So those samples haven't been touched by our pipelines in any way. Additionally, I collected samples at our surface seawater sumps, as well as at a midpoint location along the pipeline. Because we wanted to also look at some of the client facilities and we couldn't sample all of the clients, we chose representative client facilities from the 3 main groups. So we had a finfish farm participate, a bivalve, and a shrimp farm. So that's a total of 8 samples, and we opted to do 3 rounds of testing over the year. And so the testing hopefully is always kind of focused on when the larval runs are occurring. So it's a lot to kind of co-manage and coordinate together to make sure all 3 different clients are having larval runs at the same time, in addition to ocean conditions that are suitable for going offshore to collect those ocean samples. This toxicity testing is based on chronic aquatic toxicity testing methods using mysid shrimp and silversides. So this type of testing can provide both lethal and sublethal data. That first round of sampling was collected at the end of April. The results are not yet available from it, but the cost for all 3 rounds of testing is going to be a little over $26,000. Next slide, please. And lastly, one of the other things that Dr. Wyband's report wanted us to look into was going to be Vibrio or bacteria testing. So in order to get pretty instantaneously results, there is Dr. Claudia Hayes out of Oregon State University, who originally came from Ralph Elstein's lab. She is developing a dipstick immunoassay test. It's very similar to those COVID test kits that hopefully we're all familiar with now, where you just take a little drop of liquid, so in this case, the larval tank water, drop it in that well, and if you get the 2 lines, it's positive for Vibrio. Dr. Hayes was kindly able to provide us some free test kits, so I do have them in the lab, and the KPLG folks are aware that they're available should they have a mortality event and want to quickly rule in or out of Vibrio. The cost currently is free for these, but these are still in research use phase, so they're not commercially available yet. So we don't actually have a price on them at this moment. But those are the updates that we're doing in the water quality lab to kind of address these issues, and we're learning from them. That is all I got.
Thank you, Pam.
Okay. Done?
Oh, do you want to go over this one?
No, you don't.
Not at this time. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for all the work. It's really good to see how just specific work is being done as it relates to Dr. Wyband's recommendations. Board members, does anyone have any questions or comments? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we are now going to move to new business. My understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Riley and Laurence, is that the item we had on the agenda related to Symbrosia Inc. is now deferred?
Yeah, please.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is discussion regarding the complaint filed by the Keahole Point Hatcheries LLC on May 7th, 2025. We will be moving into executive session to consult with the board's attorney on issues pertaining to the board's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities pursuant to section 92-5, subsection A4 of the Hawaii Revised Statutes. May I please have a motion to move into executive session?
So move.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion approved. Okay, we're gonna move into executive session at this point with Deputy Attorney General Cole.
If you can give me just a few minutes, we have a lot of guests that I need to move to the waiting room, so it's gonna take me a couple minutes.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be you'll just text me when you're done in the session, thanks.
Chair,
Give me a couple minutes, Faustine. Yeah.
Chair, in the meantime, which staff you wish remain in the room?
Oh, wait, I'm gonna stop recording here.